G'day legends, welcome back to the channel. Today we are running you through 12 accessories that we wish we had from the very beginning. Things that we've added to our setup over the last couple of years that we wish we had right from the start. They've made our lives so much easier, so we're going to split it up, take 6 each and give you 12 accessories that we wish we had from the very beginning. You going to help?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm just going to go on the water slide.
Yeah, one of us will take Liam on some water slides.
Sounds like fun. So we're going to count down from 12 to 1 to the biggest game changer that we've found to have in our setup so far. Number 12 is our couch cushion covers. So I ordered these off of Shein about a month ago and I cannot believe it has taken me this long to do it. So under these covers we have a fabric couch, and you would have seen us in our other videos taking the whole couch cushion outside to scrub it because that's the most effective way to clean it. So we got these covers off of Shein. They cost me about $50 all up. I'll get Mark to put a little picture up here so you can see which ones that I ordered. The sizing is pretty good. I just got basically the closest size possible to fit our L-shaped couch. So there's 4 different covers here. We've got 1, 2, 3 and 4. And they basically cover the couch really well. They're really easy to fit, and it's going to be really easy for me to just peel that cover off and chuck it in our washing machine instead of having to scrub the whole couch cover. So if only I had done this from the start, it would have saved me a lot of cleaning and a lot of mess and lots of grubby little fingerprints on our fabric couch.
Okay, coming in at number 11 is a relatively new feature to the back of the car. So before we set off traveling, I used to have drawers and a full steel cargo barrier that lived in this section. But I couldn't afford the weight of the drawers and the cargo barrier once we had the total weight of the van come on. So they had to go, and basically this was just a spot for the dogs. There was no storage back here whatsoever. I've home built this. This is just like a ply shelf, so I can put the pram and stuff underneath. But what I'm actually talking about today is the new cargo barrier and shelf that I got from a company called Kaon. They're an Australian company. Kaon.
It's very good.
All Australian made. Yeah, it is very good, isn't it? So I was really struggling to find the cargo barrier suitable for my car because I've got rear aircons in here. Stumbled across these guys. I think they're Queensland based, and it's super light. I think all up it probably weighed 5 to 7 kilos. It sort of bolts around the headrests over here, and then up here on my grab handles it bolts onto that. So I don't think it's fully rated as a cargo barrier. It's more of a pet barrier, but that's all I needed it for. And then I got the option for the shelf up top. So this has been fantastic for storage solutions. So now like the first aid kit lives up there. I've got like one of these bags is full of spare cables and conduit and stuff like that for whenever I'm tinkering with cables, I need to fix something. I've got a couple of specialized tools up here. We've got the picnic rug and my hoses and belts and things like that. They're in another bag. Well, I got to help you do that. They're a bit tough. But yeah, Kaon storage. Apparently there's heaps of different options. I've seen some like 76ers have pockets for like the side windows and stuff like that. So definitely check them out. It's been a bit of a game changer for us being able to store that stuff up there.
And now the dogs can lay up here and look out the window.
That's right. The dogs can sit up top and look out the window now, can't they?
Yeah.
So yeah, that Kaon cargo barrier and shelf made it to number 11 on our list because that has been a game changer for storage for us.
And I can even sit under here. Keeps my head up.
Yeah, perfect fit, isn't it?
Yeah.
Alright, number 10 is our drop bear storage pockets. When we first left, these weren't available on the market, and Jonathan and Heather from Drop Bear Storage have done a fantastic job developing these awesome products. So we used to have a fabric storage pocket here which gathered dust and dirt, and it didn't really hold our books properly, and basically it just looked terrible. So we replaced it with these gorgeous square pockets. They have been fantastic. Basically we use them for Liam's drawing things and holding books and brochures and things like that. We've also got these two next to our beds, which are great for your everyday things, storing your phones and your glasses, headphones. Mark's always got something different from me over there on his one. And we also got some for the kids' bunks as well. Oh, not up there, sorry. We've got Heathy's books down here in this one. And then we've got a water bottle holder for Liam. And also we've moved his one that was at the end of his bunk into there. So when we first left, we got some fabric ones off of eBay, which were just hung next to our bed, but they were really terrible. They were saggy and they fell apart really quickly. So when these came on the market, we were so excited to get them. 100% worth it if you're touring, and to be honest, I'd say 100% worth it even if you're not touring and you're just weekending or holidaying. They just make life and storage in the van so much better.
Okay, number 9 in our list is a water bladder. So we actually haven't used this yet. This is brand new. I got it for my birthday late last year. The idea behind this is we can carry 200 litres of fresh water in the caravan, and with the way we use water, that can stretch out between 6 and 7 days off grid. That's with drinking, cooking, cleaning up, showers, etc. We use that water for everything. And that has been enough on most occasions. There's been a few times where we've ended up crook little boys that tend to vomit on everything, that we've had to do a lot more washing in the washing machine, and that's reduced those days very drastically. And the only way that we were able to get more water is for me to hitch up, move the van, go get more water and come back again, which was quite painful. So I've always said I wanted a water bladder. So Clem got me one for my birthday late last year. This is 105 litres with a centre console hump, so this will fit really nicely in my rear seat in the footwell, and then the kids' feet should be above it. This will give us another 100 litres, but the idea is if we are running low, we want to stay in a place longer than that 6 days, I can run off with the car, fill this up full of water, come back here, and using a little inline pump, we can transfer this back into the water tanks of the caravan. And in theory, going by that maths, this will give us another 3 days. Then I could go again and get some more. Very conveniently, our toilet cassette usually lasts about 3 days as well, so when I go to dump the toilet, I can go get water for the water bladder as well. So really excited to use this. Once we finish our holiday here on the Gold Coast, I think we'll be doing a lot more off-grid camping again, so I think this is going to come in handy quite regularly, and it means we won't have to be so stingy on the water when we are off-grid. If I need water, I can just go get it. So yeah, very, very excited to use this. It's from the fmestore.com.au, which stands for FlexiMake eStore. So FlexiMake, sorry, is the brand. They're based down in Dandenong, down in Victoria, so they are an Australian-owned company, and it seems like really great material. I've heard fantastic reviews on them, so I am quite excited to use this and review it in the months to come. So yeah, there you go. That's number 9, a water bladder, and I think it's be a bit of a game changer for anyone else out there as well. Okay, number 8 on our list is solar blanket. So we didn't have this for the first couple of years of travel. We were always reliant on the 300 watts of fixed panels that we have on the roof, and that did do us fairly well. But while we were down in Tassie last year, the days started getting really short and the sun sat really low in the sky. We were just really struggling to chase that solar. So Kings had a special on, and there was a store just outside of Launceston, Devonport. So I just went and picked up one, and being able to chase that sun and get an extra couple of amps every hour for the whole day made a huge difference for us, because we use a bit of power on when Clem was working. So we're using the inverter, laptops, Starlink, etc. We were using power but just not getting it in. So having the solar blanket helped heaps, because you can sort of prop it up like this. This is 9 o'clock in the morning and you can get full sun on it. So yeah, like I said, I reckon that's probably putting in about 3 amps. It says it's good for 6.5. I've never seen that out of this panel. There are better brands out there. Check out some other YouTubers for reviews. This one was just cheap, convenient, and it works for me, so I'm not going to bother changing. We opted to not get the regulator, so they can come with a regulator, so you can just connect them straight to batteries or your car. I don't need it for the car, so we just run a blue Anderson plug, and it plugs directly into this port here on our van, which then ties straight into the battery management system and just acts like another solar panel on our system. So really easy and convenient for us. I've got about 2.5 to 3 meters of length, so I can stretch it out a little bit, but I do have to sort of forward think where we park the van if I do want to use this and get the maximum solar out of it. But yeah, definitely consider a solar blanket just to be able to chase that sun a little bit better, park under trees, run out a long cable, and then you're still getting some solar coming in. Yeah, that's why solar blankets made the list.
Alright, coming Coming in at number 7 is our Soda Stream, and who would have thought that this would have been a game changer, but it has been for us. So instead of carrying a whole carton of Diet Coke and purchasing one, I say once every 10 days, and finding somewhere to store it in the caravan, we purchased a Soda Stream. Now all you have to pay for is the initial expense, the post-mix flavour mixes. It comes with a bottle when you buy the first one, and then all you need to do once your gas runs out is buy or exchange the gas bottle. So these are about $35, but if you're taking your empty one, you can get these for about $16, which is amazing. And each post-mix flavour thing, you get about 60 glasses of soft drink. So you're saving money and you're saving weight and places to store things as well. So we absolutely love our Soda Stream. It's been really good.
Can I say something?
What do you want to say, babe?
Do you like it? Do you like the bubbly water?
Yeah, and we're also going to go to Dream World
Oh, yeah.
tomorrow.
Alright, number 6 is our diesel heater. Now when we left in 2020 we didn't have one of these, and we did the centre in 2021 and it was freezing, and we're still getting up to Liam overnight as well. So we're getting up in 1 to 2 degrees, and basically we had no way of heating the van except for our oven. So we had a lot of cooked oven breakfast, but basically we were just rugging up and stacking on the blankets, and in hindsight it wasn't a very pleasant experience. So in 2022 we decided to install a diesel heater. Now Mark and I bought this online and we installed it ourselves to save a bit of coin. We also built this box to go over the top of it to keep it protected under the bed, and now we can still store stuff on top of it when we're not using it. So I'll open it up now so you can have a look. So here she is. We made the box to be easy to remove so that we could easily check it and maintain it as we need to. Our control panel for the diesel heater is just up here next to Mark's bed, so he can change whatever he needs to, and we can put it on and off when we are asleep or overnight. And we've also fitted our diesel tank to the back near the spare wheel, the back of the caravan. We think that we get about 2 weeks out of our diesel heater before we have to top up the diesel, but we don't run it all the time when we need it. There was a time last year when we were coming through Victoria and I think we used it every day for about 3 weeks, including for a few hours overnight and definitely in the mornings and evenings when it got cold. So it's a really efficient way of heating the van. It's a nice dry heat, and it's also a great way to dry our washing in those cold, miserable, wet times as well.
Okay, number 5 is actually a very new one as well, and it is a shunt for our batteries. So we've always had an inverter that we got installed from the very beginning, but it is after the battery management system. So this is our battery management system up here, has everything fused off of it. So when we're using items that hang off of that, it'll show up on our track panel at the top here. But with the inverter, because it's on the wrong side of the battery management system, anything that's running off the inverter won't show up on that track panel. So we always had to sort of guess based on what solar was coming in versus how much was going out and battery voltage and all that sort of stuff. I had to guess basically what we were using and how much longer we had to go. So by installing the shunt, now everything that hangs off the batteries, including the battery management system and anything running off the inverter, now goes through the shunt. I will take you outside and show you where I've installed it, but basically now I can just open up the Victron Connect app on my phone. It'll connect to it. This isn't a great example because we're currently connected to 240, but basically I can see everything now coming off, and it gives us a true, accurate reading of how much time we've got remaining based on what we're using. So now when we're running the Starlink, my laptop with its charger off the inverter and everything, I can actually know what's going on instead of guessing. So that's been a huge game changer for us, and I wish I did that from the beginning, because there's been a few times where we've been close to running out of power, but at the same time I was only guessing. Okay, so here's our 2 battery boxes, and up here is where I've installed the shunt. So I've put it real nice and close to the batteries, because everything that connects to the negative terminals of the batteries needs to connect to that side, one side of the shunt, and then the other side of the shunt connects to the negative terminal of the battery. That way it can read everything that's coming in and out of the batteries. So yeah, nice and close. It is IP65 rated, so it can handle being a little bit wet. I wouldn't submerge it, but it can handle getting splashed and stuff. So there is working really nicely for us, and I do get enough reception inside the van and under the awning, but the range isn't great after that.
Alright, coming in at number 4, we've got our Makita handheld cordless vacuum cleaner. Now, you wouldn't think this would be number 4, but to be honest, it's been such a game changer when it comes to cleaning the caravan and the car. So in 2020 when we left, we bought a dust buster and we thought that was going to cut it, but it really doesn't. So we ended up getting this awesome Makita vacuum cleaner. Now it just sits in its holder in the bathroom on the wall, but what I like about it is that it can also be charged by our Makita. This is just an 18-volt battery and it goes with our Makita impact driver and drill as well, so it all matches, which is really great. You can also take this attachment off, which is awesome for cleaning the car, and you've got this little nozzle here which is excellent for sand and also dog hair. So I think we must vacuum the caravan at least once or twice a day with the dog hair, and especially if you're somewhere that's super dirty, this has been the biggest game changer for van cleanliness. Coming in at number 3 is our Do35 hitch, so our drop-on 3.5 ton hitch. So we had this fitted in 2021, 4 to 5 months after we left. Basically when we left we had a tow ball set up and I was really unconfident with hitching up. So to me this hitch has been one of the biggest game changers. I can now hitch up confidently and help Mark when it comes to attaching the car to the caravan. I also find it's a lot safer to tow with, and in the case of an accident or the caravan were to roll, the Do35 hitch is designed to rotate, so that would mean that the van would, in the best case scenario, rotate without rolling the car as well. So we were really excited to get this fitted, and I have become so much more confident when it comes to helping hitching up, and I'm 100% sure that I could hitch up by myself without Mark's help as well.
Alright, coming in at number 2. Fridge fans. So we've had a 3-way fridge from the beginning, and look, it works pretty well, but we were always very conscious of how hot it can get. So we always made the effort of not opening it too regularly, making sure it was latched properly, keeping cold things in there at all times, and putting a shade on the other side of the fridge. Look, it worked, but we recently installed a fridge fan kit, so there's fans inside that blow cool air across the fins, stop them from icing up, and then there's fans outside in the top vent that extract the hot air from behind the fridge cavity. I'll show you them now. We've only had these in for about 2 months, but they are absolutely brilliant. So they are spinning at the moment. You can probably hardly tell on the camera. This is climbing up because we've got the fridge door open, but this fridge stays at roughly 2 to 3 degrees now, regardless of what we're doing in there, where before I reckon it was creeping up closer to 9 and 10 degrees. So that has been an absolute game changer. I'm even now only running it on the second option instead of the middle option, which I used to. So time will tell, but I think we're actually saving gas now as well, because the fridge isn't working as hard to keep our food cold, and more importantly, my beer cold. Alright, we've made it to number 1. You've made it through that whole list of our top 12 accessories that we have changed along the way. These aren't things that we started with from the beginning, they are things that we have changed along the way. Now this one might be quite obvious to some. It wasn't obvious to us in those early days, but this last one that made number 1 on our list is lithium batteries. We started our travels with 2 100 amp hour AGM batteries. That's what came with the van, and that was more than enough for the first 18 months of our travels. But in saying that, AGM batteries only have, you can actually only use about 50% of the capacity stated on them. So even though we had 200 amp hours of capacity in the batteries, at 50% we only actually had about 100. So because we weren't really working on the road, we didn't have Starlink or anything back then, we could just manage really well, and that was more than enough for us. But then as we've grown, started uploading to YouTube a lot more regularly, Clem started working on the road, we got Starlink, all that started to really creep up, so we had a lot more power usage during the day and overnight. About that same time, I think because we were pushing those batteries a little bit beyond what they were capable of, they carked it. We were halfway up the WA coast and they just went kaput. So like, we still had power during the day thanks to the solar, but as soon as that sun went down, we were dead in the water. So started doing a bit of research. Do we just buy 2 new AGM batteries, or do we maybe look at upgrading to lithium? The problem I had though was our battery management system up here, the BM Pro 35 SR, isn't compatible for lithium. Lithium batteries need their own charging profile, and this system isn't capable of doing that. So it started looking like a very big expense to try and upgrade our system to lithium. Then I did a little bit more research and looked at some other people's reviews. We found those iTech World batteries. They're based in Perth and they claim to be a drop-in lithium replacement. They've got their own inbuilt lithium charging profile, like their own inbuilt battery management system to do that lithium charging profile. So they claim they'll work with 90% of the chargers out there. So I rang them, told them what battery management system we had, and they said, yeah, no worries. We probably just won't get the full 100% capability of these batteries with this charging system, which is fine, because even at 90 to 95%, it's still a huge increase in what we had before. With lithiums, you actually do get close to the 100% of that capacity. So these ones are 105 amp hour batteries. So now we've got 210 amp hours of lithium. Which is huge. So we've pretty well doubled our capacity, even if we're missing out on a little bit at the top end. And then huge weight saving as well. So the AGMs weighed about 30 to 35 kilos each. So we're talking 60 to 70 kilos for the two batteries. These only weigh 10 kilos each. So now we're down to 40 to 50 kilos of weight saving as well by replacing to these batteries. Double our capacity, huge weight saving, win-win for us. So then we've now had them in there for close to 2 years. We're about a month away from having them in there for 2 years, and we do a lot of off-grid camping. We went to Tasmania last year for 3 months, and we were only connected to power for 4 days of that. So we only went in to connect power because Clem was actually quite crook. So we wanted, water, power, all that sort of, just refresh and clean everything. But otherwise, we stayed off grid the whole time that we were down in Tasmania, and we did not have a problem. So for us, these batteries work really well. Some people stay away from them completely, and I'm not sure why. There are obviously a lot of better lithium brands out there, but for us, with our system, this is a very cheap and easy alternative for us, and they've worked wonders. So they've got our big tick of approval. We have no affiliation with them whatsoever. I think we even use Sarah and Keelan's discount code. They are affiliated with them, so if you want to check them out, head over there and have a look. Big tick from us, but there are heaps of other brands out there, and pretty well all new vans now will come with a lithium compatible system. Ours is just beyond that time frame. So anyway, that is what became our number one, because it was added halfway through our travels, and it was a huge game changer. Now we run laptops and Starlink and TV and iPads and whatever we want during the day, and then overnight we've still got heaps of capacity. So big ticket for us changing over to lithium. So that's it. We hope you enjoyed those 12 accessories, and we hope you got something out of them. There's heaps of people out there with discount codes and affiliations with a lot of those products. We don't. These are all products that we've bought and really happy with, that we've found along the way. Yeah. And obviously there's other things in here that we've had from the beginning that would make the list, but we've tried to focus on things that we've changed, and because we could talk about what we had before versus what we had after, and saw the change that it made for us. So anyway, thanks for watching, guys. We got through it. We hope you enjoyed it, and we'll see you in the next episode.